Hey guys, today's video we're going to go ahead and look at the ONNAIS Biometric trigger lock. But before we jump into and see what you get within what they send you and specs and all that and what I've learned from utilizing this biometric trigger lock for the last couple of weeks, let's take care of some housekeeping here. Please hit that subscribe button down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Secondly, any firearm that is utilized in this video have already been checked and cleared, so they are not loaded. We do follow the rules, the 4 safety rules of firearms. And lastly, ONNAIS did send this to me for review, so just wanted to give you guys a heads up. So let's go ahead and dive in here. We'll open it up. What you're given here. You'll get the owner's manual, pretty decent. I think they could expand on it a little bit. It is a little bit confusing about the lights and how that all works and setting things up, but once you get a hang of it, it looks pretty decent. This pin here is how you set or reset anything up or add like another fingerprint or another code. It's something you'll need to keep. Looking at it, it looks like it's about the same size diameter as a small paper clip, so that might work. Okay, so you'll get that. You'll get a USB cable for charging. You'll get 2 sets of keys. These are pretty nice. They do fold up. So if you're having them in your pocket, they're not going to jab you, so which is a nice little feature. Then, of course, you're going to get the ONNAIS biometric trigger here. And let me grab this and get this box out of the way. So, of course, it comes with the logo on that side. The biometric pad is very sensitive and all that. So there's 3 ways that you can open this up. Of course, you got your keys right there. You have a numeric keypad, numeric pad. This will hold up to a 10-digit code. It also is brailled. So that is it. And the minimum has to be 5 numeric digits, but it will hold up to a 10. And then you also have your fingerprint here, and this will hold up to 50 fingerprints. So go ahead and I'll sit here and I'll show you. And that's the keypad. And of course, let's make sure I got to let it reset and lock. There it is. And then the fingerprint. So let it lock, and there we go. So before we dive in and let you see how they fit on some firearms and some things that I've learned and some questions, I'll post to you guys as you're watching this and all that. There's a video out there, and it is showing a locksmith, and he's got a gunsmith mallet, I would call it, and he's tapping, and he said you're able to, if you tap it on the side here, you'll be able to disconnect the lock. So I tried it. Don't have a gunsmith mallet. Probably should own one since I have guns. But I use this rubber mallet, figuring no different. And I was whacking this thing pretty hard. And I'll be honest with you guys, I might have moved it to 1 rung, but I couldn't get it to he made it so simple that, it wouldn't work. So wanted to get that out of the way. That was kind of to me would be the elephant in the room. It is safe. I couldn't do it. And especially once you have it on a firearm, it's really going to be awkward to tap it. And second of all, if somebody has your firearm, they're going to figure out a way to get this lock off. So it's not going to make a difference. This is, a home deterrence and things like that, or you're in a hotel. So those things are not going to make a difference. If somebody steals your firearm and this is on that firearm, they have all the time in the world to figure out how to get this thing disengaged from your firearm. So that's not a huge thing. So there's a couple more specs here I want to go through. Weight here, it's about 6.8 ounces. Yeah, 6.8 ounces. So it's a little lighter than, some of your prism scopes and all that. See, I can tell you it is very sensitive, that keypad. So lengthwise, it's a little bit like just shy of 3 inches depth, and this will change based on how well you can stop. So it's like 2 3/4, and then height is roughly just shy of it's about 1 3/4 height too. So those are measurements and the things and all that, but it is definitely safe. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and we'll move forward. Well, there you go. So the first one, firearm up here is I got the Canik subcompact, and you're going to want to make sure you have the rod in front of in front of the trigger and all that. So, and then just, so there you go, and it's on, and it's not going to go off anywhere. So, and that's how quickly it will disengage. So that's that firearm here. And then I also have the Canik TP9 SF Elite with a weapons light. Okay, so, and I'll tell you here, this is one of the things that concerns, it's not a concern, but it's probably going to be one of those nuances, is your weapon light. Is it, you know, depending on your weapon light, this is a very inexpensive Amazon weapon light and all that, you know, are the controls of the weapon light, the design, the thickness and all that, is it going to impact the weapon light? So that's an unknown. So basically, as you buy this and you want to have this on your nightstand and have a weapon light on it, that's where you're going to have to, is it going to work for each one? So here, this one is working. As you can see, it's a little bit more designed for your subcompacts and up. The everything else, a little bit, the smaller ones, it's a little bit bulky on this, but it does work. And again, well, it will disconnect here. So, you know, that will work. Here's another one. This is my Extar, an AR style rifle. And if this one here, I don't think I need to pull out the AR, which I was going to do. And again, as you can see, it fits, it covers the lock, the trigger and all that. So, and again, disconnects very well. And here, I'm going to pull up, I have a shotgun. This is a Island VRPA40. Again, like I said, everything has been checked. There's nothing, I don't have any magazines are in there. And again, just going to load it up. And again, as you can see, hopefully you can see, it does fit well in the space, that one there. So it definitely fits a lot better. I did have it, I think, on a like 365 XL. It was a little bit more bulky, not as a tight fit, but it does the job. And again, we'll go with the keypad, and it quickly, you know, disengages. So it's definitely, to me, it works. The one thing, like I said, is your weapon light. If you have a weapon light on it, depending on the weapon light, will this work? The other thing, and I did a YouTube short on this, the question I imposed was, with this trigger lock, it allows you to have a magazine in the chamber. But the question is, do you? You know, do you err on the side of safety to avoid, you know, the potential of a, you know, discharge, you know, accidental discharge while you're trying to disengage the lock? You know, so that is the question. That is one of the things. I mean, would I, wouldn't I? It seems to work fine. It doesn't look like it would interfere or cause a accidental discharge. But, you know, there's that potential. So that would be one of those things that I would be concerned about. Other than that, I think this is an excellent device. If you're limited on space or finances, and you have maybe one of those inexpensive gun cabinets and not a gun safe, and you wanted some extra protection in a firearm that you're storing in there, these will work great. If you're looking to have this on your nightstand or, you know, anywhere where you're keeping it and you want to have access to it, but you have kids, this will work great. You know, so I think it's a great item. It runs about anywhere from $30 to $40, maybe $50. I can't remember. It changes on Amazon, but I would highly recommend this, guys. I will definitely provide a link below, and that is a direct link to ONNAIS's website, and you would get 20% off. So definitely, you know, and free shipping. So definitely check these guys out. I think it's an excellent device, and I'm happy with it. Now I might figure out if, you know, to purchase some more. All right, guys, be safe.